Hello, and welcome to my stables. I am the Chocobo Keeper, and welcome back to Danganronpa. Last episode, there was some drama happening. Hina and Genocide, Jill, and Toko went at it. They got into a fight. Sakura was revealed as the spy, and no one really trusted her anymore, except for Kyoko, Hina, and Makoto. Unfortunately, we also found Sakura dead. So now we have to investigate her murder. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point, the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey.
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Well, why is that?
So...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow, after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside, and there's no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words...
This is a classic locked room murder. Parroting? I guess you might see this kind of thing of a lot in mystery movies or books, or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method, seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words...
The killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
However...
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
It's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean?
In other words...
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. Sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
It's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Parroting?
In other words...
By that, I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Clue with Tim Curry, motherfuckers. Then you think we can cross that one? Oh, then you think we can cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there's 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of the 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Alrighty. Let's check out this glass stuff. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good in all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure how I see how. You usually don't, Makoto. Alright. Candy wrapper? This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
Oh, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well...
Yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
'Cause, I mean...
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Alright. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. Glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have been originally a bottle. Oh, there's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. The locker is open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint. It's also very dusty.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then what does this handprint mean? There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles? I think that's important right now. It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that. Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. There's 2 missing. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle, which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that, so I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Okay, we're doing pretty good on checking everything. That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Oh, the chair. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I better go before he crushes my soul completely.
However...
But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
She certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What the heck?
We already know who did it!
I won't forgive you.
Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro, it had to be one of them! They couldn't stand the sight of her! You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well... I don't want to say anything for sure without finding more. Blep, then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me... She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file says she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk with them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Well, let's check out Sakura. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? If you're hit on the head hard enough, yes, you will vomit, but not blood. Not a chance. But Byakuya...
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting.
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder, the reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Alright, let's talk to Snubnose.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Fine. Fuck you. And I think that's everything. Oh, I guess we gotta check the door? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence of any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's got a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with the two other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Yeah, we're gonna leave. Those other two probably went back to their rooms. Alright, so I guess we're not checking out the chem lab. That's kinda dumb. Alright, well, Toko's first. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
Who's there?
Ah, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
But... Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about. Boyka already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Alright then, I guess we're gonna go see Hiro next. My god, there's so many people dead. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What? What?
How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have you have special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What? What?
Oh, well. When she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others like in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura.
You got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt, and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Ah, sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket.
Huh?
What? Ah! Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me... Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have been from the chem lab. So where should I start? We're gonna go to the chem lab. Dorm, first, second, third, fourth. Oh, no, it would be fourth. We're gonna go here. Because it's closest. Well, ain't
What?
that a mess?
Makoto, did you have your eye in the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it.
I think what you meant to say was yes, sir, I understand.
Flip. Fuck you, dude. Alrighty. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. I'm gonna check out the bottle. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it, Chem C4.
Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Then this powder must have been
So, in
spilled.
other words,
That's right, it could have only been around the time of the incident.
If that really is what happened, it must be related to the case somehow. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
By we, do you mean me?
How kind of you to offer.
With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
what?
Well, let's go, chop chop.
Okay. So I got to work, and before long I drawn up a sketch of the room. How's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean.
Me?
I see.
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours?
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said.
You see, your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately?
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
And these prints are a really valuable clue. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Time to check the shelves. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. And why is there a poison bottle in that? The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Did someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf is what looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are.
They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
Isn't that kinda harsh?
What?
You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world.
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well.
I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled the letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. On this shelf is... one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section C. I should try to find out more about the shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Yeah, we're gonna leave. Oh, dormitory, first floor. Whoops.
Hey,
Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
Along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway,
Well, I made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do ought to look over them once more. Alright. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know. But
Hey,
don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? But
whew.
there's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of our hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Alright, so we gotta look at the Monokuma bottles again. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. The fact that there's 2 pieces missing. You're missing the knight, which we found already, and probably the queen. Because this is like a chessboard, so how it goes, there's the pawns in front of everybody. And you have the rooks or the castles on the 2 corner pieces. Inside of those, you have the rooks. Beside those, you have the knights. On the left side, depending if you're white or black, if you're white, it would be the white queen on the white square, and then the king on the black square. A correlation. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you towards the clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? Flip. No answer. I do trust you to a degree, otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree.
Hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
Can you go gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Are you Sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so...
So then,
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
so then,
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
in other words,
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weight. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
listen.
First, let's compare the weight of the two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced.
In other words,
Each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same, which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same and nothing else could really affect the weight.
so then,
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might we expect to see? Well, the normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
so then,
Okay, then let's give it a try. Aww. The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other
The
words,
results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles, put it all together,
hey,
and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? So what do you think? It's all on you. Basically, there are 2 bottles, and we're just missing a piece. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back on that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages, near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in blood. Bold, bloody letters. And it said Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that? That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
What the heck?
And she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
I won't forgive
It's
you.
settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. And the fact that Sakura's fingers were, spotless?
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake.
You know what? Fuck you, Monokuma.
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time? But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. God, there's so few of us. Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery!
what?
What the... Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. Ho ho.
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy.
Well,
And how about the reverse?
phew.
No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes,
For
indeed.
example,
Hmm.
do you have 100 friends?
What? What?
He's right. That does make it seem sad.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at
I
me!
don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever.
Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt, one of us is the culprit.
The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? Come on, it's time to put it into this. I made my way toward the elevator. But with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the six of you, huh? Really?
This is kind
That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say like it's not your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then.
Are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened for the fourth time. A deadly judgment, deception, betrayal. Riddle, defense, faith. A deadly class trial. Yeah, we're gonna save. Alright. Let's do it to it.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened,
Oops.
and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
But if you picked the wrong one...
Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Whoa, deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Yuna seems really sure that one of those three is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low.
Damn.
That's about as low as you can get. It was one of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
That's low.
Damn it.
That's about as low as you can. It was one of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
Hell yeah.
No, that's wrong. Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all three of them. Then does that mean one of them did it?
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
You're
No,
wrong.
That's wrong. Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's,
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
Ooh, piece of candy.
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
But what Hiro said can't be right. Because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that is when Sakura got the candy.
I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Yeah.
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
What would a shining message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was on the shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
He said he saw the dang message when he first found the body, but at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Nope, okay.
Shoot!
I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun.
Jesus, okay.
Shoot!
I can tell you exactly
When I found the when Ogre's body.
And I can tell you it was only after
I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
Shoot!
Grrr.
I can tell you exact when Ogre's body.
And I can tell you it was only after I found the magazine.
When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total
Oh, I know what I gotta do. Okay.
sense. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you
When it was only after the investigation had begun.
I found the magazine. When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
Nope, it's the magazine shelf to Ogre's body.
I can tell you exact when Ogre's body.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell
Tell you exactly when I found the when Ogre's body was discovered.
Oh, for
And
I
crying
can tell
out
you when
loud.
it was only after
I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you
Exactly when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you
when I found it was
Scream.
only after I found the magazine.
magazine tucked away on the. When I pulled it out,
I saw her.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exact when Ogre's body.
And I can tell you it was only after I
found the magazine tucked away on the magazine.
when I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exact when
Ogre's body was discovered.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then.
Gah!
Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is. Toko!
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Without a doubt. No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap.
Damn! Okay, blah blah blah. No one gives a shit.
I refuse to give up yet!
You didn't say that.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof.
This should prove it! I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure. Thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew! I knew she was gonna try and kill me! She was gonna kill me and make her escape! So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head! I hit her from behind, before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
But what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What would he have had to do after writing the message? It doesn't make sense. Why he picked Toko? Well, it wouldn't be that strange for Toko to kill someone at random, right? She's the perfect fall girl. I don't think your suffering is over when you die. I want you to taste all the flavors of eternal pain. Anyway, that's not the point I was trying to make.
Shoot!
Oh, yeah. Why the magazine was hidden?
I got it! That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
Huh?
By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then, he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like what had been written, there's only one choice.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right?
What?
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it!
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't believe it!
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So... what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time, when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but... okay.
We haven't reached the end of this case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once, is that right?
Yeah, just once.
No, that's wrong! If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But
I think that's the
only hit
biggest
her
compliment
once.
he's
How could she
given.
have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
The correlation between the Monokuma bottles, I feel like it's starting to become clear. That connection must be, it's the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. Chess piece.
Now I understand!
For once.
That's it! The chess pieces! Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, then the bottle that was missing was broken.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves that is Kyokyo and I figured it out before. The bottle experiment.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces. Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's second attacker. Some bowling aficionados? What the fuck?
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko?
Oh my lord, her face.
And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
I agree with you on that. And I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment on who you think killed Sakura and why. Well, other than that she was a spy. But don't forget to scratch the subscribe button and peck the bell so you know when the next video comes out. I hope y'all are having a good one, and I will catch you in the next video. Whee!